Hello everyone, this is Evergreen. Welcome back to the Vanilla Minecraft series. If you missed last episode, we trapped fucking Willy. He's in his enclosure, and he is my pet Nautilus, and his name is Willy, and he is perfect, and if anyone says otherwise, they will... No, my shield! They will get a shield to the face. I love him dearly. He's my baby boy. How you doing, Willy? But Willy's not the focus of today's video, but he can have a proficient anyway. He's not the focus of today's video, because today's video, we are hoping to maybe finally finish out this nether room. I ran out of charcoal last time, and it was kind of always in the background of last video while we were taming Willy, but, yeah, we definitely need to get that finished, most certainly. And it starts with getting some more charcoal, and ends with us actually finishing the room, which, please, it's about time. And then we can go back in and maybe finally find some blaze rods and explore the nether a little more. It's looking good, but we definitely have a lot to go in terms of its completion. So, hey, could be worse. Could be worse. I hope everyone's day has been really good. We're going to, today, focus on those few things that I spoke about. And we are also going to continue to make sure that our farms are upkept. Which is essential to continuing the development of this show. So we're definitely going to need, I think 12 wheat would be the amount that we need now. Last time I collected wheat, I needed 8. So there we go, 12 wheat. And I'm going to dump the seeds in the ocean. And let's run on over. Yeah, no more baby cows, so we're definitely 12. Those cows. Cows. Hell yeah. And then next time we're gonna need 18. Next time we breed. Those cows are adults. Yeah. Yeah. So we're just waiting. Waiting this video. Waiting. Speaking of waiting, fucking Hadestown, right? So I think tomorrow I'm gonna listen to Hadestown. I've mentioned that in pretty much every video that I'm recording this all at once the day before I go back home, and I've mentioned also that it is a 4-hour trip to take, which really fucking sucks. And I have to find some way to get through it, and a lot of times what I do is I end up singing in the car. Mostly musical numbers, because those have a plot line that I can follow and distract myself with, and also because it's fun. And most of the time it's a musical that I've heard before, but honestly tomorrow I might listen to Hadestown for the first time. And I say the first time, and that might be a shock to a lot of you, because I've said in the past that I am a fan of Greek mythology. I'm quite a fan of Greek mythology. And I do really like the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. And the fact that I've never seen Hadestown might sound fucking insane, knowing those two facts about me. But it's true. A couple summers ago, I did have the opportunity to go see Hadestown, but I was seeing it with my father and my sister, and they didn't want to see it because they had no idea what it was. And since I'm the only musical theater nerd in my family, I was the only one that was like, hey, we should go see Hadestown. They're like, we have no idea what that's about. Fuck off. That's stupid. And so we ended up seeing Sweeney Todd instead, because they recognized one of the names on the cast list for the show, which was Josh Groban. Which, no issue there. If you've also watched a lot of these videos, then you know that Josh Groban was a big part of my childhood in terms of musicality, and I'm a fan of his music, absolutely. And so getting in to see him not only sing but perform was a really neat experience, and it was also Sweeney Todd, which is Stephen Sondheim's one of his, if not his best musical that he's ever written. So no complaints there. And I also got to see Annalena Ashford as Mrs. Lovett, which was amazing, and Gaten Matarazzo as Toby. Just all around, really great show, really amazing performance. Little sad I didn't get to see Hadestown, but that's fine. We can move on from that. But since then, I just haven't really seen it ever. And I've considered going back up to New York to see it myself, but, tickets are expensive, and that's an expensive trip to take, so alas, I must wait in the wings. But, there have been a lot of Hades sounds on TikTok. I've mentioned also, I've been on TikTok, and a lot of my page is edits, like edits of shows, movies, a lot of things that I've watched. And there's that one edit of Wait For Me, that with the sound from Wait For Me that keeps on passing around. And it's specifically the version from the West End that had an Irishman play Orpheus, and so his accent is in that version of the show, specifically in his singing, and a lot of people have been praising it, and honestly, I agree. I don't think it's necessarily to do with his accent. I think his voice is amazing. And my one issue that stopped me from watching Hadestown on my own in the first place is because I think that the official cast recording from the Broadway production is just okay. It never really hit the way I wanted it to. I feel like, I need to cough. Oh, goodness. I feel like with Hadestown, and specifically with Wait For Me, it needs to hit a certain force. I need to feel the emotion behind it. And with the Broadway show, I never really felt that. I know it's there, and if I saw it live, I probably would feel it. But just listening to it on my phone with no production to watch, relying only on my imagination and the audio cues that I get from the song, the Broadway production just never really gave me that sense of oomph that I needed, until that sound started going around and I really liked it, and I was wondering, well, where the hell is this version? Only to find out it's the West End version. And now that I know that, and now that I can find it, I might watch it, because it does have that oomph that I needed. All the performances have that oomph that I was looking for. I think that some shows do really great regardless of the performances behind them, just because they're popular and they're well written and it's hard to screw it up. But I think with some shows, you do need a really strong, specific kind of performance to make it work. I think Hadestown is one of them. I think Hamilton is another one. I don't really like other productions of Hamilton that aren't the original cast, because I don't think they're that good. I think that guaranteed, Lin-Manuel Miranda isn't my favorite performer. I don't really like his voice that much. I think that he's also a little annoying, and if I have one friend that absolutely adores Lin-Manuel Miranda, and if they see this, I'm sorry that this is probably the first time you're ever hearing this from me, because I've hidden this feeling of mine from you because you're such a fucking Lin-Manuel Miranda stan. I don't like him. I think that his writing is great, and I think that's where he needs to stay, is in the writer's room and off fucking stage. But for Hamilton, despite Lin's best efforts, I still really enjoy Hamilton, but only with the original cast, because I think the original cast is the best version of the show. Oh, I love that I can see the Nether portal from here. That's so cool. Sleep. Oh my god. I also really like that because the Nether portal is bigger than I like that since the Nether portal is bigger than the entrance, it makes it look circular almost. I like that. That's fun. That was a good decision by me on my proportions for that. So good job, me. Good job, past me. I'll go give you a pat in the back and a little kissy kiss. But no, Hamilton, I think it's just fine when it's not the original cast. The original cast really understood it in a way that I feel like hasn't been really seen since with any revivals of it. So, and I mean, I think that they finally released the rights for a junior version of it, which is also just like, what the fuck are you doing? Hamilton is not a show that should be on a high school stage. Firstly, because of how demanding it is. Secondly, because of the content of the show itself. It's just not it. Like, high schools should be doing, like, maybe Mamma Mia and some other fun musical shows, but not Hamilton. Not Hamilton. Never Hamilton. And I was like, there's just so many better options to choose. There's so many better options to choose, really. So, I don't know. And I feel the same way about Hadestown, where it really needs a specific cast to bring out the oomph that I need to properly enjoy it. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm the crazy one and everyone else is right for loving the show the way it is, but, whatever. Now, a musical composer that I think always makes shows that perform well regardless of their casting is Stephen Sondheim. I think that all his shows, regardless of the casting, are really good. Unless, of course, you do stupid fucking casting like with the Into the Woods movie, where you have like one or two good casts in the entire movie. And by the way, I'm not talking about James Corden. If anything, I'm talking about Meryl Streep as the witch, which is a good cast. And I like Meryl Streep. But that doesn't save the movie or make it good. It's just not great. And I think it's one of the few instances of a Stephen Sondheim musical that didn't really turn out great because of the cast. Like, even the Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, Sweeney Todd isn't really that bad. It's salvageable. It's not as good as a stage production, but it's not bad. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. And there's a lot of love and respect put into the original show. It just suffers from being a movie adaptation of a stage show. So, yeah, my thoughts. My thoughts. And I've done musicals before. I've done 2 musicals, actually. I've done Mamma Mia, which was the worst fucking experience of my life because that production was hell. The older students that were a lot of the main cast besides me and 2 other people really suffered because the older students that were the majority of the main cast were athletes and had this superiority conflicts to make themselves feel better by putting those of us that were underclassmen, who were also part of the main cast, down because we were underclassmen in the main cast. And thank God they graduated that year because I did not want to have to do theater with them again. Ever again. And even then, I'm not a fan of jukebox musicals to begin with. So it was whatever. It was fine. And I wasn't even musically up to par to even really be in the main cast. I think it was just because I was a dude and I was funny and I was a good comic relief and I could really hit those fun moments. But besides that, it was just okay. It was just okay. I did meet one of my best friends through Mamma Mia, though. Well, we had been in shows together before, but it was the first time that we actually got to work together, and that was for Mamma Mia. And according to her, I just really wasn't... I was a weird vibe. Not like a bad vibe, but just a weird vibe. Because I was a weird kid in high school, if that wasn't clear enough by my descriptions of who I was in high school, but apparently I just gave a weird vibe, but not a bad vibe, just a weird one. So that's decent. We're best of friends now, so thank God. Thank God that she decided to see past my fucking weirdness. Whether it's because I forced her to be friends with me or because she finally realized, hey, this kid's not weird, he's just fucking awkward. So that's pretty neat. But those are like the only good things that came out of Mamma Mia. The second musical I did was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and that was so much fun. I got to be Grover in that one, and that was 3 years ago now. And that was my favorite show that I've ever done. I loved it. It was so much fun. There were a lot of issues with it, but the issues didn't matter just because we were having so much fun putting it on that it was kind of ignored. And at the time when we were putting it on, it was me, one of my other current best friend as Annabeth, and a new kid as Percy, and we had such great chemistry as that trio, and it was really great, and we had a great time putting it on. It was both me and my best friend's dream roles to be in that show. It was so great. It was so great. And then we came out of it, and the other person started sexting minors, and it was like, damn, you really had to do that, huh? And we went to the police and everything. That situation has long been taken care of, but it kind of soured the mood of bringing it up and bringing up the production at all, because immediately your first thought is, oh, our lead, who was Percy Jackson, yeah, he was caught sexting a minor. And not even like a minor, like a minor. So it's like, ooh, and no one wants to bring it up after that, of course. But me personally, I still hold a lot of love for the musical. It was we were putting it on during my spring semester of my senior year in high school. So it was a very special time of moving forward. And if you've seen the show, then there is a lot of growing up. Like it's a coming of age story. In the form of a comedy musical about Percy Jackson. But to do that, as I'm literally coming of age, it was a powerful show to do, and it's very important to my development out of high school and into college. So personally, it means a lot. It means a lot to me. And whenever I'm feeling nostalgic, I'll still listen to it and songs from it, and cringe at how bad I was when I performed it, despite the fact that I thought I was fucking killing it. So I don't know. And musicals are a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun, and I love doing them, and I haven't got the chance to do them in so long between work, a personal life, and university work, which is just the fucking worst, man. My roommate, who is a big part of our theater program at my university, is going to propose for us to do Into the Woods in the spring, and I really want to get my act together for an audition for it, because Into the Woods is bar none my favorite musical ever, and I would love to be in it. I love to audition for it, and so I need to really get my ass in gear if I want to do that, and that's going to be part of my New Year's resolution is get my ass in gear so I can audition for this show and be a part of it, because my god, that would mean so much to me if I got to be in part of that show, because it's just so good. It's just so good. It's everything I ever could want in a show. It's a parody. It's a satire. It's funny. It's heartfelt. It's got a large cast with so many interesting characters in it. And my goodness, the music is beautiful. The music is so beautiful. The antagonists are so fun. The theme of the story is amazing. Just how could you not love that musical so dearly? Love it, and I really hope I get to be a part of it. I don't know if I'll be the baker. That is my number one dream role right now, is to be the baker, because he's perfectly within my vocal range and I think in my acting wheelhouse as well. So I would love to be the baker, but I don't know, I'd be good being any of the roles in the show, honestly, as long as I'm a part of it. That'd be really swell. And I'm not going to tell my roommate that I'm going to audition for it, because that's Nepo treatment, by virtue of being his roommate. Not that I think that would happen. He is severely autistic in a way that that's not even me saying it derogatorily. Like, he's actually severely autistic and can only help but do things logically. And so I don't think that I'm going to get any special treatment because of me being his roommate. Just because he is that guy that will absolutely, till the end of the day, think logically about anything and everything. So, I don't know. It'd be good. It'd be a good experience to have. He most recently did Jesus Christ Superstar, which is a Andrew Lloyd Webber show. And right behind... not even right behind. He just is my least favorite musical composer ever. I don't like the man. Is that a baby zombie on fire that just ran past my window? Well, it's dead now, so that's the important part, right? That's the important piece of fact. The sun is setting. I'm ready to go to bed. Please and thank you. I would greatly appreciate it. Andrew Lloyd Webber, I feel like when you're thinking about prime musical time in America, the two main composers you're talking about are Andrew Lloyd Webber and Stephen Sondheim. They have by far had some of the most successful musicals in the entire history of Broadway. Whether you're talking about Sweeney Todd, Into the Woods, Into the Park with George, Sunday in the Park with George, Jesus. Or if you're talking Andrew Lloyd Webber with Cats and Jesus Christ Superstar, you're going to be talking about those two people. And Phantom of the Opera. And both have their merits and both have made good stuff. But the reason why I like Stephen Sondheim so much is because his music is almost like a puzzle where all the pieces fit together in a complex, difficult, challenging way, but in a stimulating way for a performer to work out. And it really builds together a beautiful picture of everything together. Andrew Lloyd Webber, in my opinion, takes the puzzle and mixes it with an other puzzle box, and then mixes that with another puzzle box, and expects you to solve all three puzzles that look drastically different from each other, but still have enough pieces that look the same to completely confuse you. And the way he does that is by taking a song, writing out a pretty beautiful song that's decently difficult, and then deciding to pitch it up across like 3 different vocal ranges to make it as challenging as fucking possible. The quintessential role that exemplifies this best, I think, is Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, who goes all over the fucking place. And that's just difficult for the sake of being difficult. That's just difficult for the sake of being difficult. It's not like Sweeney Todd, that is a vocally demanding role that incites a lot of challenge and complexity in his vocal range that shows the character itself. It's just difficult for the sake of being difficult. That's it. That's it. And I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's interesting. I think that just sucks. I think that sucks because you're taking the fun out of it by making that hard. And I'm saying that, and I do like a lot of his stuff, and I could never hope to even be close to as well-known and well-revered of a creator as Andrew Lloyd Webber. But that does not negate my opinions about him in any way whatsoever. I don't like the man and his productions. I also think they're all... I think a lot of his shows are overrated. I think that Cats is definitely overrated. I think that Jesus is fine. It's just fine. It's just okay. And I think Phantom falls in the same category where it's just okay. I don't think it deserves to be top rank for best musicals ever. I no way believe that. I honestly have seen indie musicals with more value in them than with Andrew Lloyd Webber and Phantom. Like, if I were to think about my top 5, right? Les Mis. Les Mis is up there. It's the first musical that I ever fully saw. It means a lot to me. I love the story. I love the characters. I love the music. I love the background, the backdrop of the French Revolution. Really great. No complaints, really. Except for the treatment of the female characters. But we won't get into that today because we don't have the time for it. Another one, Into the Ringer. Into the Woods. Number 1. All time. Perfect, amazing. I've already talked about how I love it and why I love it, so I won't get into that. Number 3, I think it's going to be Star Kids Twisted. If you're not familiar with Star Kid, they are an indie musical group that write a lot of parody and comedy musicals, and also do have their own storyline called the Hatchetfield Trilogy that's really, really good. I won't get into because it's not relevant to what I'm saying. They have a show called Twisted that is essentially a parody of Wicked, where it begs the question, what if Jafar was good all along and the story that we were told in Aladdin is just a twisted version of what actually happened, right? And it is really good. Like, insanely good. Like, on a completely different level of quality than any of the other shows. And Star Kid makes a lot of very good shows, but Twisted is just on another level of quality. The music is really, really good. The themes are really vital, especially to me personally, when it talks about a legacy and doing what's right over what will get you liked the most. And I really love it. And it looks great. It's fucking hysterical. There are so many funny moments in it. It's just good. It's just really good. And I suggest, with any of the ones I'm suggesting, if you haven't heard of them, I would highly recommend checking them out. Number 4, I think would have to be Ride the Cyclone, because that is just musically really good. It's so different. There's such a variety of musical genres in this one piece, in this one musical, that makes it infinitely interesting. The dilemma and conflict of the story is also really interesting. I think it does the Cats thing, where it says, it's just a bunch of I Am songs back to back to back to back to back, but it does it in a way that's infinitely better and more complex than Cats could ever hope to be. Another one that you should really check out. I guarantee that you've heard some of the music from it at least once. So you should check it out, at least at some point in time. And then number 5 would have to be, and this is going to give me a lot of flack, but it's going to be Epic the Musical. Now, if you're familiar with Epic at all, or if you're unfamiliar with Epic at all, let me fill you in, to the best of my knowledge. So back in 2020, I think it was 2020 or 2019, musical theater was seeing a large dip in popularity, both to it being a dying art form and also due to it being COVID time, which means that people can't get out to shows, actors can't get out to shows, and tech can't get out to shows. So everything has to be done inside, in your home, alone, and of course that's not a possibility with stage shows. And so TikTok came together and they started making their own musicals. A lot of very independent groups started making their own shit. You have interesting productions like one of the funniest ones to me, which is the Ratatouille musical, where it's a bunch of TikTokers and creators came together and asked, what if Ratatouille was a musical? It's really funny. It's really great. The performances are really funny. I don't take it seriously at all, and that's not why I'm talking about it. Because a creator called Jorge Rivera Hernandez wanted to make a musical that told the story of the entire Odyssey from the full perspective of Odysseus, minus like 2 or 3 songs that are about Telemachus, and released it in chunks through watch parties on TikTok rather than all at once. And it finally finished and he released it in different sagas, right? So they're like, there's the Troy saga, which is the opening where Odysseus is in Troy and he's leaving Troy to go on his voyage back home. There's the Cyclops saga, which is where he encounters Polyphemus, and then a bunch of other little things that, like, sagas that encapsulate what he encountered on his voyage home. And it finally ended in 2024, I think? Yeah, 2024, December of 2024, with the Revenge Saga, which was him coming back home and killing the suitors and reuniting with Penelope and Telemachus. Very good. And I didn't really get into it until my best friend said, hey, for my birthday this year, I want you all to put on a production of Epic for me, and I'm gonna be Athena and Penelope, and assigned roles to everyone, and looked at me and said, you're gonna be Odysseus. And I was like, oh fuck, you're just doing this so that way I have to listen to the entire musical, aren't you? And she was like, yep, that's exactly what this is. And so, because I wanted to be a good friend, I listened to the entire musical, and it is a beefy musical. I ended up not being prepared for it at all, because it was sprung on a little late for me to learn an entire fucking musical, especially with how long it is. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long, which for a musical, when it's just the music alone, is long. It's really long, and there's so much, and Odysseus is in almost every single song, so I was not ready, but I listened to it on repeat. My Spotify Wrapped for 2024, or 2025, was just pretty much Epic. Just back to back to back to back to back. Epic, 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 epic. And it was terrible. But I have Stockholm Syndrome with this musical now, where I love it, and I think it's great, and the music in it is really fun, and it really catchy, and a lot of the thematic elements from the Odyssey are still there, but it removes a lot of the more problematic elements of the Odyssey that are less enjoyable, like, for example, Odysseus cheating on his wife multiple times, despite the fact that the point of the Odyssey is that he is incredibly loyal to Penelope and would never do anything to ruin the sanctity of their marriage. So I think that it's a good adaptation of the original Odyssey story. All the performances in it are really solid. Jorge himself is Odysseus, and which is, a lot of people have compared him. He's Puerto Rican, so a lot of people have compared him to Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's also Puerto Rican and has a very similar style to Jorge Rivera. But I think the one thing that separates them is Jorge Rivera is actually a pretty damn good performer, and he can sing really well. And so his version of Odysseus is a lot better than Lin's version of Hamilton, and a lot more enjoyable to listen to. So yeah, and like with what I said with Ride the Cyclone, you have definitely, if you're on the internet at all, heard at least a little bit of Epic at some point. It's impossible for you to have not to, even if you didn't purposely seek it out, you've at least heard it in some of the sounds that are popular on TikTok. It's impossible not to have. And those would be my top 5, specifically in that order too, from number 1 to number 5, which is Into the Woods, Les Mis, Twisted, Ride the Cyclone, epic. At least right now. My top list for everything changed so dramatically throughout time, which, I mean, they should. You should never just stick with one group of favorites for the rest of your life. It should be constantly changing and moving. Otherwise, you stay the same person forever, and who the fuck cares about that? You're not interesting if you stay the same person forever. Fuck that, dude. I don't want to be the same person forever. I want to be different. I want to be varied and changed and brand new and beautiful and exciting. Not fucking the same. Fuck that. So, I don't know, that list could change, like, within a week, for all I know. But, as of right now, I would say that's my top lists. We did not finish the Nether Portal room today. Not even close. But we did sit and fish and talk about musicals for 30 minutes, so I hope some musical theater kids got some enjoyment out of that. I certainly did, personally. We're gonna do, I need to think of my thumbnail to get ready for, so it's gonna be this, because it's gonna be me fishing. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to comment below, tell me how your day was. I'd love to hear about it, and I'll make sure to respond to every single comment I get. If you did get this far, consider liking and subscribing so that way you can stay up to date on the series as it's coming out, and you can stay up for our little chats. With that being said, make sure to drive safe, wash your hands, get plenty of sleep, get plenty to eat, get plenty to drink, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.